first time this year. Hello, Kathy. I think I've seen your name somewhere. Um, anyway, I'm going to be uploading this as an audio podcast, so I'm going to try to remember to read the comments out loud as I respond to them. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them in the chat, and I'll try to pay attention to them, try to get to them. So I've been on Substack for just over a year now. My first post was December of 2024. And my first audio podcast was in January of 2025. So, and live videos, I didn't start any live videos until several months into it. I think it was in May, the first time I ever went live before. But this past month, December, I went live every day of the month except one. I skipped one day in December, but I wasn't committed to doing it to anybody else. It was just a commitment I made for myself. Hello, Marnie. Marnie is one of my regular followers. So anyway, I went live yesterday to give a kind of a recap of December and of the year, basically. So I wanted to go live the first day of the year just to kind of tell you what direction I'm heading, and maybe even ask you all what you'd like to see in the new year. I put out an article with a poll in it. Not a whole lot of people participated in the poll, but what I did get from it is that you'd like to see more personal stories. Not you particularly, but the people that answered the poll would like to see more personal stories. Definitely not politics, no queer news. I don't know if that's indicative of the entire population of Substack, but it's kind of what I'm getting from other people. Hey, Brandon, Happy New Year, says Marnie. Thank you, Marnie. Happy New Year to you, too. Happy New Year to everybody. Dennis, hello. Dennis is another regular I see in my live videos. So going forward, I'm going to try to do more of what I've been doing for 2025. I want to try to do regular baking videos, baking and cooking. Seems like a lot of people responded to that. A lot of people like it. So I want to try to keep doing that as long as I can come up with good recipes. I want to try to work on original recipes, do some original baking and cooking, which I did a little bit about last year. Dennis says, be yourself. Well, I try to, no matter what I'm doing, whether it's the baking videos or on live videos like this or interviews or my articles, I think I have done a pretty good job of just being myself and using my own kind of humor and stuff. So I do plan on continuing that. I don't think I put on any kind of I don't know, act, really. I mean, sometimes I act a little crazier than other times, maybe, but I'm still myself. One thing I am going to start doing that I didn't do last year is when I've been talking to the Sturge, Gerald Sturgill. He writes a publication called Sturge Writes It Down. And I've known him for a few years. He was on Medium, which is where I met him, and we're part of a writing group. Um, he and I are going to go on a weekly live podcast of sorts and talk about like social issues, kind of fun stuff. Nothing. I don't think it's going to be anything too serious. Maybe there will be serious issues that pop up every once in a while, but I don't really know what direction it's going to go. We're going to start off this coming Tuesday, which is what is that? Let's see, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, January 6th on Tuesday. I believe we're going at 3 p.m. Central Time. I think that's what we landed on, 3 or 4, somewhere around there, sometime in the afternoon. Anyway, I'll announce it before it happens. But he and I are going to go on, and I'm entitling it Tuesdays with Two Gays. I thought it was a clever name. Marnie says, love your baking videos, but I enjoy all your videos. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Marnie. Dana says, you are young, smart, aware, and sensitive to the world around you. Just saying. Thank you very much. I appreciate all these compliments. Marnie says, looking forward to Mad Libs tomorrow night, too. Oh, yes. Tomorrow night. I don't know if I was going to do it tomorrow. I thought I said Sunday. I did it Sunday last time. I was planning on Sunday. Hopefully I got that right. I'll have to go back and look at what I said that I was going to do. I mean, I don't want people to expect it and not show up. Yeah, so that's another thing I had thought about doing because in December I went on live video one day and I did a Mad Libs with the people in the chat. If you don't know what a Mad Libs is, it's basically it's a story with a lot of the blanks. Oh, well, here we go. So Mad Libs. So it's these stories, but they've got a lot of blanks in them, and you usually ask someone else for the part of speech or whatever it is, and that person just comes up with random answers and fills it in. And at the end, you usually have a funny, crazy story. It's a lot of fun. But the first time I did it, I had a lot of participants. It was a lot of fun. And then I did another one on New Year's, Christmas Eve, where I came up with my own. I kind of used a little bit. I used the "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" story and blanked out some of the words, and then asked people for answers and filled it in. It ended up being a pretty funny one, also. Then I did it again this past Sunday night with this one, which is adult Mad Libs, a bachelorette party version. And again, I had good participation. People liked it. So I was like, well, maybe I'll do this every week. Oh, Marnie says, you're right. Sunday night. I'm hungover. My bad. Okay. Well, all right. Yeah. Well, I'm glad I had I had the right day in my mind, at least. Okay. So yeah, Sunday night, I want to try to do the Mad Libs thing. And I'm going to try to come up with my own because I like originality. Whenever I put any kind of notes or jokes or anything out there, I always try to come up with my own stuff. I really don't like just taking a meme from the internet and putting it out there. I mean, I don't knock people that do it because I see some of them and they're funny. I like some of them. It's just for me, I just prefer to be more original. Now, I have I do have this like meme creator where it has pictures, but it has blanks in the pictures. And so like I make my own joke for the picture. So I will do that because I feel like I'm creating my own humor there. I'm making up my own jokes. So for me, that's more original. So I'm okay with that. But for the most part, I try to use my own pictures. Sometimes I can't get what I want, and I'll have to use stock images on Unsplash or the things that Substack provides. But if I can, I try to use my own pictures. I just want to be I want to be original because that's what I value in other people. I like people's creativity and their originality. And that's something again in this new year that I want to continue with. I want to show my creativity, my originality, and I think that is what people appreciate. It's what I appreciate. And so I hope that I will find audience members that appreciate that as well. Another thing that I feel like that I want to do is to be more what's the word? Diversified, have variety. I like variety. I don't want to be stuck to one particular thing. I don't want to be always writing about one specific thing all the time because I think that gets boring. I like doing different things. I'm I do most of my writing is satirical, humorous. I also have personal stories, which from the survey, the poll that I put in my article, the people that filled it out, they were leaning more toward wanting more personal stories. So I'm going to try to do that. I'll try to talk about my experiences, which I've done in the past, but some of the satirical articles are just completely made up just for humorous effect. But oh, Marnie says, "Smash the hearts." Thank you, I appreciate that. So again, if you have any suggestions or questions or comments or anything, put them in the chat and I'll get to them. I I try. That's another thing I do in my live videos. I always have the chat there, and I always interact with people in the chat because I've seen some live videos where the people they're just talking to each other and they completely ignore the chat. It's just like they're having a conversation among themselves and like it's like there's nothing going on in the chat. They don't address it at all. And I just think and I understand it to a point because sometimes if you have lots of people, it goes by really fast. It's hard to keep up. But every once in a while, it would be nice to address the people who are there and address their comments or answer their questions or and things. Because to me, it's like if if you're not going to pay attention to the chat, you could just record a video or a conversation between you and someone else and just publish it whenever you want. So what's the point of going live if you're not going to interact with the audience that's there? I don't know, that's my feeling on it. So I always try to interact with people in the chat and especially like that's why I wanted to do this Mad Libs thing because that really engages the people who are watching. They're providing the content. Um, for the Mad Libs, I am asking you for the answers I'm making you part of the story. And I like that. And I especially want to try to write my own. I'll, write my own stories and come up with the blanks for it. So I don't think that's too much for me to handle. I'm still going to write articles. Throughout 2025, I wrote 2 articles every week. I did an audio podcast once a week. Partway through the year is when I started doing the baking videos. I ended up with 20 episodes of the baking videos last year. Since I'm starting earlier this year, I'm going to try to do at least 50 baking videos. I'm going to do about one every week, but I'm saying 50 because I figure there's going to be once or twice where I'm going to need to take a break or that I'm not going to have time for it or whatever. I want to give myself a little leeway. So, and that's the same thing I did with my audio podcast. I had 50 episodes of the audio podcast last year, and I'm going to try to keep up with that this time. And then also the once a week with the Sturge, and that also might be downloaded as an audio podcast. So I might actually end up with 100 episodes altogether of the audio podcast because I'm going to download the audio of that. Maybe we'll see how that goes. Marnie says, I really appreciate that about you. Yeah, about interacting with the chat. Yes, thank you. I'm glad people appreciate it and take notice of it. So another thing I'm thinking about doing after December with all I went live almost every day but one. And most of those days I had a guest on with me and I did kind of an interview conversation. I don't know if I'd call it interview necessarily. I did have questions and I kind of tried to stay on a certain subject, but it was more of a conversation because we didn't always stick to the plan or whatever. It definitely wasn't scripted. None of my stuff is ever scripted. I don't know. I mean, you could probably tell right now that I don't have anything written down that I'm going by. This is just an unscripted thing. I'm just talking. I'm just telling you about what's going on and what I'm planning on for the new year, for this year. But see, now I've lost my train of thought. Oh, the interviews. Yeah. I interviewed a bunch of people in December and it went really well and a lot of people liked it. And I even had people reach out to me to want to do more this year. So I'm thinking about doing that once a week. I'm definitely not going to do it every day. That is just because I did it for 1 month and the only reason I could do that and the articles is because I had the articles written. I wrote those beforehand, scheduled them, and I didn't have to worry about the articles. I could just focus on the interviews. But trying to schedule one person for each day, get everybody lined out, not double them up. I did double up a couple, which is fine. I handle it. But um, it is difficult trying to get all the scheduling done with trying to work with other people in time zones, and it was just a lot. But it worked. I got through it, and I'm still alive. So I'm thinking about doing an interview with somebody different once a week. I'm actually starting tomorrow is going to be my first interview of the year. I hadn't planned on doing them on Fridays, but I need to do it tomorrow because he's starting a new thing Monday with his publication. So he wanted to do it before then. So I'm going to do that with him tomorrow. Lewis Caldwell, he is he writes Accidentally Sideways. That's his publication. He does script comms. It's something unique that I haven't seen on Substack anywhere else. I haven't really looked for it, but in all the articles I've read and stuff, it's something unique. So I think it'll be cool to ask him questions about it and kind of introduce him to more people. I hope that through that he'll get some more followers and maybe help him to be successful in this new venture. Um, that's another one of my goals. This isn't all about me. When I'm interviewing people, like through December, I was focused. My interviews were focused on the other person. I was asking them about, like Ellie Leonard. We talked about her book that she's writing. She publishes a chapter every week, and I asked her because a lot of her stuff she does is with the Epstein files. And when I asked her, I was like, if you want to take a break from that and talk about your book, because I had been reading her book all along and made a couple of comments on it. And she said, yeah, I would love to do that. I would love to talk about something that I enjoy doing. So that was great. Um, I've also talked to Christy Keller about a new publication that she has started. Ginger Cook, she had never been on a live video before. And that was exciting. That was a lot of fun because I've interacted with Ginger quite a bit, and we've never spoken face to face, as it were. But that was a fun interview. I knew I would get along with her, but there were so many people. KR Byers came on with me 3 times during the month, which was really uh, which was really nice of him. He he told me at the beginning of the month, he said, I'll come on with you every week if you need somebody to fill in or whatever. And so I took him up on that. Not every week, but he came on three weeks in a row. But he's doing something new with his publication too. And I always like talking to him. He's very easy to talk to, very supportive, really nice guy. So anyway, that's kind of my plan for 2026. Still going to do articles once a week, or well, I don't know about once a week. So last year I did 2 articles every week. This year we'll see how I can keep up with that. Um, I may have to cut back on the articles because people are liking the live videos, but if I'm focused more on that, I may not have as much time to write the articles. Plus, I still have to do my freelance writing because Substack is not, I'm not earning enough from Substack yet to completely cover my living expenses and everything. So I do still need to work outside of this. I still need to do my freelance writing jobs and in order to supplement my income. I'm hoping at some point during the year that I will gain enough paid subscribers that I can just quit the freelance writing stuff because it's not really something that I'm passionate about, that stuff, because it's not what I want to do. It's because I'm writing for a company and I'm kind of constrained to what they are asking for. With my Substack, I write what I want and I interview who I want. I can say what I want. And if I can get paid for it, that would be awesome. I mean, I'm sure you've heard the saying, find what you love to do and find a way to get paid for it, and you'll never work a day in your life, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but that's my goal. I want to I want to do something that I love and earn a living doing it. So if you like what you're seeing from me, I hope that you will upgrade to a paid subscription because it's all free. I put out everything for free. I don't paywall it, except I think my archive is paywalled. Like after 6 months, it goes behind a paywall. So if you've got a paid subscription, you can go back and read anything you want. But I don't know. I've been thinking about a lot of different things, and that's something I talked with Jenny O'Connor about. She writes Down the Rabbit Hole, and we talked on December 30th, just a couple days ago, about multi-passionates. This is the term that she used in the article that she wrote. And it's for somebody who's multi-passionate, who has a lot of different things that they like to do. It's hard to confine yourself to a niche. I love baking and cooking. I like humor. I like talking to people. I like doing the audio podcasts and the live videos, and I like writing. So I want to do it all if I can. And if you like that variety, I hope that you will follow me and subscribe and go forth. If you want to take a look at it all first before you subscribe, that's perfectly fine. That's probably what I would do. I'm not going to subscribe to somebody just because they asked me to. I'm going to see what they've got. So you can go back, and I haven't published all of my live videos from December yet because I was saving some of them for in the new year. I published all the ones that were about holidays, Christmas, and chats associated with all of that. But some of them, like the one I did with Christy Keller, I just published it yesterday. There'll be a couple more that I'll publish in the coming weeks. I talked to Corey Vinny, who is living on a boat with his husband and their cat Pineapple. I interviewed them when they were docked in the Bahamas. I'm going to publish that video sometime later. And Walter Rhine, I talked to him. I don't think I've published that one yet, but we were talking about writing and different strategies going forward in Substack. And let's see, I think there was at least one more. Oh, I think one of mine with KR Byers was about Substack strategies. I don't think I put that one out there either. So those are all going to be coming out at some point. And then the ones that I'm doing going forward, of course. Ginger Cook said she wants to come back on with me. Haven't set a specific date for that, I don't think. I'll have to check my messages and see. But anyway, my plan is possibly to do that every Wednesday. So I've got an article that should come out every Monday. My live video podcast with the Sturge should be every Tuesday afternoon. And I think every Wednesday is when I'll have a guest with me to talk. And then Friday will be I think Friday or Saturday, I'll put out the audio podcast. Marnie says, have you ever thought about doing a paid subscription special discount for a short period, maybe New Year special? Yeah, actually, I have, Marnie. I did that last year. I did during Pride Month, I did a special for paid subscriptions. And I think there was another month that I did some. I had I think I had a few people take advantage of it. not a whole lot, but I mean, I guess any is would be worth it. So yes, I will be doing that. I could do a New Year's special. I could make one of those for January. Um, yeah, or maybe I might wait until February because January is when I'm doing all this new stuff. So maybe everybody can see what's going on during the month of January. And then February, maybe a Valentine's. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about the Valentine's thing. Maybe do a Valentine's special, a love special. I don't know. Something like that, maybe. What do you think? Does that sound good? Since we're already in January, I could I could do one for February. Maybe. We'll see how that goes. Um oh, hello Aiden. So with I was Aiden and I were on the Daily Whatever last September, I guess it was. Anyway, I was talking about live videos and having people on and stuff. I I believe Aiden is going to be doing a weekly interview thing. I read in one of his posts pretty recently, I believe. I think it was just a couple days ago. I read something. Anyway, I guess if you want, you can mention that in the chat if I'm wrong. Um, so that's my plan. Article article every Monday. Me and the Sturge will go on every Tuesday. Tuesdays with two gays. And oh, Christy Keller just came in. I was just talking about you a little while ago, Christy. Um, I was just kind of giving a recap of what I was doing in December, all my however many days of interviews I had, 30 days of lives, 30 days of live videos. It was, and I know some people go daily, but for me, that was a lot. And having all those people on there, I didn't even count how many I had altogether. I guess I should have done that, but most days, like Monday through Friday, most weeks I have somebody on. I'm not going to do that through this year. That was a lot. But I am thinking of doing one once a week because I've already got some people that want to do it. So I guess they liked what they saw and they want to see more of it. So that's what I'll do. Christy says, "You were busy as fuck last month." That's a lot to manage. It was. I know. Yeah, the scheduling part of it was just, I was, I mean, it was hard for me to keep track different time zones, what people could do at certain points of the day. And I only had one person cancel because they ended up being sick, but I'm probably going to ask her if she wants to come on sometime later. But yeah, I ended up having somebody fill in that day anyway, so it it didn't disrupt anything. So yeah, and everybody I asked, I reached out to all these different people, and at the beginning of the month, I thought I'm gonna have to do a lot of these by myself, and I don't know what I'm gonna talk about. But I didn't have to worry about it because everybody I asked said yes. Um, so it was awesome, and I had a wide variety of people too. We talked some about holiday stuff. I had one lady from that was French Canadian. She talked about her traditions and she got me to sing a song in French. I don't know French, but she said my pronunciation was good. So It was it was a fast song too. I was trying to keep up and say this chorus in French, and I was probably really fucking it up. But she's she told me I did well, but I'm sure she was just being nice. Anyway, um, yeah, we talked about all sorts of things, and Christy says, "LOL, wish I would have seen that." Ugh, I really didn't want to go back and even watch it, but I published it anyway, so it's out there. Uh, yeah, so she's French Canadian from Quebec, and she's such a nice person. She's always so lovely and so friendly, so friendly. Her name is So. Anyway, um, yeah, I hope you will, if you want to see any of them, you go back and watch some of the videos I did last month. They were a lot of fun. Um, I I talked to people from other countries, and one out on the ocean. As I mentioned, Corey Vinny was with his husband and their cat in the Bahamas, which made me quite envious. But yeah, I'm going to publish his video probably sometime this month. So anyway, um, I was just getting on here to tell, since it's the new year, I just wanted to get on and talk about what's going on for me, what my plan is, at least for 2026. It might change partway through. Who knows? Because it did for last year. In the middle of the year, I started doing baking videos, cooking videos. I didn't think I was going to do that. I mean, I had no plans to do that at the beginning of the year. Actually, at the beginning of the year, I didn't plan on going live. I didn't. There's a lot of things I didn't plan on doing, and did them anyway. So this year, what I plan on doing and what I actually do may be two different things. Last year, I also did a Midwest Pride tour. I went to, let's see, I went to three different locations in Missouri, and one in Kansas, one in Nebraska. And I was wanting to do uh, another Pride tour this year, but go to a different location. Instead of doing a Midwest Pride tour, I thought maybe I could do a Southern Pride Fest, or West Coast, East Coast. I don't know, somewhere else. But that requires a lot of traveling. And as it stands right now, I probably will not do that, because I just don't. I can't justify the travel expense and everything. Hopefully, by the time June gets here, which is when Pride Fest is, and most Pride Fest celebrations are in June, I will hopefully gain enough paid subscribers that I feel like I can afford to do that traveling, or at least justify it, take it off my taxes, at least some of it. I don't know how that's going to work, because I'm planning on doing that for this year. So after I do my taxes this year, we'll see how that goes. And that might determine whether or not I'm doing more traveling this year. Anyway, that's one thing. That's one of my hopes, not necessarily a plan for this year, but it is one of my hopes for this year. I would like to travel to different places and show people different types of Pride Fests. I felt like I gave them a good idea of what a Midwest Pride Fest looks like, because there are probably a lot of people that have certain viewpoints, or maybe even misconceptions about the Midwest and how they feel about the LGBTQ plus community. And it was may have surprised a lot of people how much support there is, but it depends on the area too. But anyway, I would like to go to other places and show you theirs also. So if you like my content, if you want to look at some of my past videos and my articles, if you like what you see, become a paid subscriber and support me so I can do more of what I've been doing. Um, I can't think of anything else, and I don't see any more questions, comments in the chat. Um, yeah, I can't. I'm sure there was something else I was going to say. I should have written it down. See, I was like I was saying earlier, I don't script these things, and maybe I should at least. I mean, a lot of times I do write notes, but this time I did not. Like, well, I'm just gonna go. It's it's January 1st. I'm gonna go on first of the year and talk about what I'm gonna do. So that's what I did. I hope you got something out of this, out of all this babbling. But anyway, I'll be going live tomorrow with Lewis Caldwell and talking about his new venture. Um, as I said earlier, he is gay and dyslexic, and he wants to try uh, a new direction with his publication. So I'm going to ask him about some of that. He's going to tell everybody about it. I hope it will get him some more exposure. So we'll see how that goes. And then you'll see me Sunday night. I'm going to do a Mad Libs. People have been liking the Mad Libs. So I think I'm going to try to write my own and come up with something original. So if you want to participate in that, you can join me on Sunday night. I don't have a time for you right now. Christy says unscripted is fun too. I just recommend your pub so that you get hundreds of paid subs and travel. Oh, thank you. Oh, I just recommended your pub. Oh, okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, Christy, I had a lot of fun with the interview. I don't know if I call it an interview or conversation. The conversation I had with Christy on video last month, which I just published yesterday, so you can check that out. We talked about all kinds of things. We Yeah, it was Hummer rings and peckers and naked baking. Woodpeckers. Sorry, I should clarify, shouldn't I? Woodpeckers. Um, yeah. So anyway, check that out. It was a lot of fun, and check out her new publication. I Oh shoot, I just lost it. Homebody ish, right? Homebody ish. Homebody. Did I get that name right? Oh, I'll be embarrassed if I got it wrong. Yeah, Marnie says I'll be there Sunday night for Madlets. Yes, Sunday night. Yes, homebody ish. Okay, good. Homebody ish magazine. Sometimes the brain doesn't always work. Sometimes it just flies out of the head, falls out. It's fine. I'm I'm okay. All right. Thank you very much, Christy. And Marnie, thanks for the input that you've been giving in the chat. Awesome. Um, whenever whenever I go live tomorrow, I hope you check it out so Lewis can get some more exposure, and you can check out his publication. All right. That's all I got. I'm not going to keep babbling on and on about nothing. So I appreciate everybody coming in. I had 27 people. That's good for me. I appreciate you all. Check me out later. Happy New Year. Happy 2026. Oh, I was going to wear my glasses. I forgot about my glasses. Happy New Year. It's probably better that I didn't wear these the whole time. They're they're a bit distracting. All right. I hope you have a good 2026. See you all later.